here as part of the UTS 2011 Design Camp on Cockatoo Island, and we're here to give the students an immersive, exciting and challenging experience of design outside of their normal comfort zone. The theme of this year's Design Camp is the designer as explorer. We're here in this amazing environment of Cockatoo Island, which in itself is very inspiring for the students. And we've used the two themes of islands and exploration to guide what we've been doing here on the camp. The two challenges that we're actually doing out here are two 24-hour group challenges. The first challenge is a mapping challenge. That gives the students the chance to go out and explore the island, but not to explore it as tourists or even really to explore it just visually, but their task is to try and uncover some of the hidden, unexpected or unseen elements of the island that they might discover. And it's really about encouraging active exploration, the possibility of drawing inspiration from your environment, seeing beneath the surface, and recording what you observe in a creative and designerly way. So they're learning really important techniques to do with observation, recording, reflection, and translating what they observe into designerly structures and products. In this case, they're making very, very beautiful maps. One of the things we've tried to do with the mapping challenge is to think about the limitations of a certain palette of materials. So we used a 2D plane of cardboard, and then we gave them various quite humble materials and a limited palette, and asked them to think very, very inventively about how they would represent their map using that small palette of materials. And they've come up with the most fantastic results, all kinds of different shapes. They've really exploded that 2D plane. They've gone up and down and out, and they've created all kinds of wonderful tactile maps, some even using light and torches, transparency, lots of ideas of layers, but really interesting experiments with the idea of representation.
Initial approaches were quite similar in that they often dealt with textures and often dealt with small details and layers. But from that, we've produced a really divergent group of responses. So a lot of people are mapping things to do with unseen phenomena. So some things are quite conceptual.
The second challenge we've got them working on is inhabitation. The inhabitation challenge isn't about survival, and for us that's quite important. It's not about the idea of building a bivouac or being able to immediately construct systems for producing food or shelter. For us it's about something more to do with how human beings inhabit the world and what makes us human. So in the inhabitation challenge, we've asked the students to really think about what they might need as human beings, what they might need in order to mark the passage of time, to serve food, to relax, to create entertainment, to keep themselves safe, but also to create their own sense of identity. So we've got them thinking laterally about all of these different things that make us into human beings, and then we've given them a bag essentially of rubbish, or as we've called it, flotsam and jetsam, random materials of all different kinds that we're asking them to repurpose.
It's like some kind of tent for a cult. It's based upon colour theory, where it's like you can channel certain healings through certain colours.
The inhabitation challenge is also site-specific. We're asking them to respond to spaces out on the island, whereas our mapping challenge was quite focused in the mould loft where we're based, and was to do with them executing a kind of beautiful structure. The inhabitation challenge is much more playful, much more performative. It's much more about being out there in the world and responding to the environment around them. So they're out there right now on the island creating these various different design solutions to various problems of human habitation, and they're using their bags of flotsam and jetsam to do that. One of the things that we hope the students will get from this experience is a certain kind of attitude towards design, a flexibility, an openness to risk, an ability to accept uncertainty and difficult situations, and to embrace those situations as part of their design practice. We're also trying to get them to understand that they have a practice as individuals, and that practice will be built up through expertise and through experience, not only over the next 4 years of their education with UTS, but also over the rest of their career as designers.